These are 5 things that are a sexual assault that people try and act like they're not. When you show signs of hesitation and you're met with force, and that force is reframed as romance. For example, looking back and realizing that my first kiss and losing my virginity was really just sexual violence. Slapping your ass. Just part of being in a relationship. No, when you're doing the dishes and he comes around and slaps the fuck out of your ass and you flinch and tell him to stop, you were just sexually assaulted, and you know it. So please stop making excuses for him. He saw your own personal fucking ass, your private parts, as something for him to cause violation to and get pleasure and humor out of. Why were you touching me when I was asleep? Why were you feeling me up? Why were you shoving your finger between my pussy lips? Why were you leaving hickeys on my neck when I was fucking unconscious? When I tell you I have had so much suicidal ideation because of the feeling of how gross and violating and just like I can't even put into words what that feels like to have to look back on, that is so rapey. Because what do you mean that person was fucking unconscious? Nothing about that gave a single ounce of opportunity for fucking consent. Popping the cherry myth. You are not supposed to bleed during sexual intercourse. If you have something going into your vagina, you're not supposed to bleed. That means there's so much friction and discomfort happening in the vaginal canal that it literally tears open. That's literally your fucking vagina tearing open because of what the penis is doing. There is no magical, mythical part of the vagina that's supposed to rip open and gush blood while having intercourse. I don't care if it's the first time you've had sex or the 5 millionth time you've had sex. The vagina naturally produces lubrication when it is comfortable, relaxed, and aroused. If that lubrication and relaxation of the muscle groups are not there, it is because there is discomfort. The fact that that is seen as something that we have to push through, especially for your first ever time having sex, is propaganda. I promise you. It is literally scientifically wrong. You are not supposed to bleed when you have sex. It's not supposed to hurt. And even if that were true, why? Why should it hurt for us and be pleasurable? Why should a man be getting hard and bringing to so much pleasure to the point of ejaculation while we are bleeding and writhing in pain? It gaslights girls and women into thinking that our discomfort is an inconvenience while somebody is quite literally entering our bodies in the most personal, private areas on us. So for somebody to see you bleeding and hurting and wincing and saying that it hurts and then they keep going, that's sexual assault. You clearly do not want it. You clearly are saying that it hurts. You are asking them to stop, and they're acting like, oh, this is just normal. You just have to relax. Nope, that's sexual violence. You're a rapist. And I don't care what the law says, because I know that people will try and use science, popping the cherry, the myth of the fucking magical, mystical hymen to try and justify that, but I would want somebody to cut off my head and kill me if I ever put my body part inside of someone else who was uncomfortable and wincing and cringing up, and I was making them bleed with my body part. Like, at that point, I'm a rapist and I just shouldn't be alive anymore. Feeling somebody up, like, literally without asking them. I don't get how so many people like this, and I think that's pretty fucking bird behavior. Like, you're okay with your man just feeling up your ass at line in the grocery store? You're okay with him, like, putting his hand down the side of your pants and resting it there? Like, he didn't ask you. You guys aren't even, like, there's no context. Like, why do men feel like it's okay to just, like, grab your boobs, grab your butt, stroke your crotch? Like, I don't know a single girl that's ever dated somebody that specifically dates men that hasn't had that happen to her. And I don't know a single girl that actually likes it. And the ones that are like, oh, I like it, I'm into it. There's nothing, like, wrong if that makes you horny, but do you think that changes what's happening? Do you think that you're being any less objectified just because you like it? Nobody's body is a fuck toy or a fidget toy for some man's horniness. So, like, yes, it is sexually violent to just grab someone's genitals, to just sexually start feeling somebody up without fucking asking them, without verbal confirmation, without an enthusiastic yes, without coercion, without any force or anything weird going on prior. You shouldn't feel people up just because you feel like doing it. To validate it, if you feel violated and it feels wrong, it is because you are being violated and it is wrong. You do not need the person violating you to validate or confirm what you know is true, what you know is happening, what you are living through in your own body. Just because the person who committed the crime against you and the society that normalizes the crime is normalizing it, it doesn't mean that you have to too, and you shouldn't.